Okay, so stop blaming people for lessons that you didn't learn, okay? So let's talk about it. Again, this is Mind, Body, and Soul by Z, and I invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel so we can talk about these things before I forget about it and we all miss out. Yeah, so lessons we should have learned. I was reminded about a lesson I should have learned, and I literally was going to be upset with somebody else about a lesson in boundaries that I should have learned. Not only from them, because they've demonstrated their boundaries to me before, but also me keeping my own. So here's the story. So, of course, I'm a giver. I give. So I thought I'd put my shoes on while we're talking. Shoes and socks. So I'm a giver. I give. That's what I do. And so I thought, you know what? I sometimes give to no boundary. Someone can just say, "Hey, let me borrow $5." Okay. Knowing I probably shouldn't have loaned the money or gave the money, but I just go, "Oh, it's $5. What's the big deal?" But then the next time when you probably don't have the $5 to actually give somebody, then they tell you, "Oh, yeah, well, you gave me $5 before, or you're always giving me, why you can't give me this time?" And then there's me not sticking to a boundary because that person that showed me they have none. And so with them not having any boundaries, it sets me up for failure. And then sometimes when the roles reverse, when you're asking for something from somebody and you think that you should be granted the grace that you were asked for. So let's just say the same $5. And they say no. And you're like, you already count in their pocket. You know there's $5. You don't know, but you think you know. But you think you asked something that someone is capable of giving you. And so in doing so, you ask that, and that person has boundaries and they tell you no. And human nature, I think a lot of people do this and they don't realize they do it. They say, "Oh, well, remember when I did this for you? Well, remember when I did that for you?" And blah, 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 blah. And it leads to a lot of animosity, and it puts you in a bad place in your relationship with that person because people don't have to be reminded of the things that you've done for them. They know. And if you feel like you have to remind somebody of the things that you've done for them, then you may need to rethink your position, because if you're in a place that you have to remind people of the things that you've done for them, then you haven't learned your lesson. The lesson is for you. The lesson isn't for them. The lesson is for you. Your lesson should be, hey, this person has boundaries. This person is sticking to their boundaries, and you need to realize that. And dealing with them for it. It doesn't mean anything bad. You don't have to be upset about it. You just need to know this person has boundaries, and I should have some too. And if I want to keep this healthy relationship, I'm asked to respect theirs, so let's integrate mine as well. Y'all, boundaries doesn't mean bad things. Boundaries is a way of showing mutual respect for people and whatever mental health or physical health that they have. That's what boundaries are. Boundaries are a stage of respect. That's what boundaries are. And when people fail to realize that or feel some type of way about your boundaries, then that's a lesson they need to learn. So again, that's a lesson that they need to learn. So I was put in that position, and I put myself in that position because I asked someone of something that I felt like they had, and 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 I know I just put myself out for that person. I just extended myself to that person, and it was an extension. means I went out of my means to help this person. And then when I turned around and asked for a minuscule, what I felt was a minuscule favor. And I didn't ask because they did something for me. I asked because I knew that person had that resource available to them. But this person chose to say, although I may have this resource available to me, I have a boundary and it doesn't extend to you. And you know what? It was so, I just got real silent because that's what their no said. I may have this resource, but I have boundaries. And right now you're not within those boundaries. And I thought, and I said, and I was quiet. I was quiet right in front of them. And I kept a smile on my face because I had to think about it. And then I got the biggest smile and I said, okay, thank you. And they kind of looked at me like, okay, like, is that a revenge smile? Am I going to get it? What's going on? And I went, no. I said, thank you. And I honor you and your boundary. I could have been upset, but that's your boundary. Why would I be upset for your boundaries? Did I initially think, well, don't ask me to do it again for you, what I did for you? Yeah, I did. But it wasn't, I didn't have to throw that in their face. Y'all, that was my boundary that I had. So, I even said to myself, if given the chance to do it again, me extending myself for that person, would I do it again? Yep, because my boundary encompassed them. That's okay. They may not actually have that type of resource, and it may be important that they keep their resource tight like they do. And it may not be. They may not just want to give it to me. I don't have to be nasty about it. I thank God that I'm in a position that they're within my boundaries. So stop getting mad at people for boundaries and getting mad for people about lessons that you should have learned. That's a lesson for me, not for them. The lesson is, if it's within your boundary, do it. If it's not, don't do it. And if you're the person that is not the beneficiary, don't get mad. My dad used to always say, do not get mad at people about their stuff. Period. Listen, someone loves and cares for you more than you will ever know. They just haven't told you yet. And I really, truly, truly hope that this blesses you and that you have an awesome day. And you might have to watch this again because some of us, it's a hard pill to swallow. But this is your lesson. Don't get mad at them for the lesson that you didn't learn.